This is Tony van Niekerk, editor of Cover Magazine. I'm with Roelof at Momentum Investments Roadshow, Shifting Momentum. Roelof did a wonderful presentation on the positive issues that we're facing in South Africa, as well as some of the challenges. One of the interesting comments that Roelof made is that he expects a 4% GDP growth for next year. Roelof, thank you for speaking to us. Could you please give us a little bit more on where do you get the 4% from? Because I'm sure some people will say, never, this can't happen.
Well, in fact, if you look at some of the surveys recently conducted by PwC globally and in South Africa, CEOs of business organizations are fairly bullish about the future as well, especially in a sub-Saharan African context, where there is a larger degree of optimism than globally, which is good to hear. Now, this year is obviously not looking very good because of the lengthy strikes, because of the election. There's been a lot of unproductive time out there. And of course, the European economic recovery isn't exactly what we want it to be. The levels of confidence aren't quite what we want it to be. So if we get to 2.5% growth this year, I suppose we'll be lucky. But next year, a number of growth drivers will start kicking in strongly. First and foremost is the stronger recovery in the economic or the economies of Europe, which will gain momentum. We are already seeing that in record tourism arrivals to South Africa. And then, very importantly, we'll have more electricity. Next year we've got more electricity. We've got the first unit of Medupi kicking in, and we've got several thousand megawatt of renewables that are gradually being fed into the grid. Which means that the electricity constraint starts disappearing next year. That is exceptionally good news. What we should also remember is that we have fundamental fiscal stability. We've got a budget deficit which is entirely predictable, thanks to good financial management by Pravin Gordhan and his team. We have a budget deficit GDP ratio which is stable at 4% roughly, and showing signs of being able to drop marginally. And then the other key growth driver is the infrastructure program, which will gain momentum. And it gets even better because we've got the National Development Plan that is going to kick in. And in the NDP, government has clearly stated that we need labour market reforms. We must make it easier for employers to create jobs and remove the bias against them which exists in the current legislation. And if government has the guts to do that, then we can certainly look forward to a much better year next year. Remember, we grew at 5% on average for 4 years before the recession. So getting back to 4% growth next year is not a big deal. We should be able to do that quite easily.
Great. Roelof, thank you very much. Your predictions in the past has always been good, so I look forward to 4% growth in 2015. Thank you.
I hope I'm correct. Thank you.
Thank you.